This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new values, and a new experience.
Welcome to the Ghee Spot podcast. I'm your guide, Katy Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us for conversations around sex, spirit, and all things self-care. All things self-care. All things self-care.
This is a journey into sound.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
You are a Ghee Spot podcast with Katy Silcox.
What's up, Ayurveda homegirls? It's your favorite Ayurveda cowgirl down here in Charlottesville, Virginia, shooting you some love from her heart, from her mini recording studio in our Shakti school. And we would love to see you. Come see us. How? We're having a couple of live events this year with me down here. Some stuff going on. Asheville, North Carolina. Charlottesville, Virginia. Duck, North Carolina. So if you like it warm and sultry, go to katysilcox.com. Live events. We've also got the amazing Ayurveda Certification School 2019. It's a year-long program. Coming up, coming at you. We need you. We want you. You are meant to do this. What are you waiting on? I love my life. I love my job. Do you feel that way? Because, man, I do. And I'd love to teach you how I got to where I am. Doing something super obscure. Things that my mama and my daddy never thought I'd be doing. Things that every man in the world told me I'd never make a dime off of. People told me I was crazy. They told me I wasn't qualified. And I said, the one who qualifies me lives in my pussy. That's right. Pussy. That is who certifies me. But then I went and I got certified. I became an Ayurvedic practitioner. I loved it. I fell in love with it. I got a master's degree in Hindu philosophy. So, you got to study, right? But at the end of the day, the one who certifies you is you. Learn. Humbly learn. But at the end of the day, the one who certifies you is you. And that's why I actually started my certification program. I wanted to create a place for women who felt in their heart that they are healers, mostly of their own self. And they wanted to share this amazing information, this amazing preventative metaphysical medicine with other people. So that's my spiel. Today, we are going to talk about how to get great digestion, how to feel awesome in your belly, how to not feel bloated, how to not feel fat and chubby when you know that you didn't eat chocolate cake all night and yet why do I feel like crap? How to get poophoria, which is exactly what you think it is. It's poo plus euphoria. It's that amazing feeling when you have a great elimination. Great eliminations come from great digestion. And so we are going to talk about the easy, super crazy, ridiculously simple Ayurvedic ways. I didn't say that they were easy. I said that they were simple ways of getting great digestion. Ayurveda, in case you don't know, is an ancient Indian science of life and love and sensuality and wonderfulness and bliss. Go back to the show we did on Ayurveda, What Is It? If you want to know a little more. There's no way that show is going to really address what Ayurveda is because it's an endless inquiry. But if you're like, I don't know what this lady's talking about with her southern drawl, go back and listen to What is Ayurveda on our podcast and share it with your friends. So how do I get great digestion? And I feel uniquely qualified to speak about this because I am not one of those yoga girls that you see rolling out her mat and having a super flat belly and eating whatever she wants and not knowing what you're talking about when you say, oh my God, my digestion sucks. I am one of those ladies, and it may be you, and if it's not you, good. You still should need to follow these amazing principles because then you can keep your good digestion. But I was one of those people that, oh my God, like I couldn't eat anything at one point. It was like super frustrating. I know some of you out there know what I'm talking about. You just get more and more intolerant of stuff. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm having a panic attack every time I think about eating, because then I've listened to like 40 different people who are supposed experts telling me 40 different contradictory things. Oh my gosh. And that's why, learning Ayurveda, and then, it's so funny. I wrote a book called Healthy, Happy, Sexy. This isn't a book promo, but you should definitely get it. But I wrote this book, and then I realized that I wrote this book for myself. And I'm now really beginning to fall madly, madly in love with Ayurveda, even more than I was after writing the book. And that was because I really feel like a huge shift has happened for me in my overall health because of what I'm about to share with you guys right now. And that is that I really got serious. I remember one of my favorite Ayurveda teachers is a woman named Dr. Claudia Welch. Hopefully we'll get to have her on the show. And she was saying that your body needs to know that you mean business. And I finally got serious about these Ayurvedic food principles. And they're so freaking simple that you don't even think that they're going to work. But they do, especially when you combine them with one another. And what I had to do was get serious about the emotional roots of why I wasn't following the principles in my own freaking book. Yes. By the way, every writer writes the book that they desperately need. And now I am following. I can sit here and tell you I'm not perfect, but I'm serious. My body means that I mean business. And my digestion has never been better. I've never felt better. I dropped 10 pounds out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but my body just got where it needed to be. And those 10 pounds weren't fat. They were just gunk, toxicity. We call this ama. It just went away. And I'm going to share with you guys how that happened. The basic rules of Ayurvedic great super stellar digestion and therefore poophoria. We want to eat in a really calm place. We want to try to eat where we can have a view of nature. If you can go outside and sit in nature and eat your lunch, eat your dinner, eat your breakfast, that's great. If you're in an office and you can't do that, at least look out the window at a tree. Look at a plant on your desk. Be in a harmonious, beautiful, loving, gorgeous environment. Number 2. No, that was number 1. If you're taking notes, number 2. Eat with a calm heart. And so we usually bless the food, and you can bless it in whatever religion or non-religion tradition you want, but just calming yourself a little bit. That's the point of blessing your food, is it actually calms the nervous system. And when the nervous system is calm, it sends a message to the gut, hey, you can digest things, and sends a message to the brain and the nervous system that you are not running away from a tiger or fighting a tiger. You are calm, you are safe, and we are, at the end of the day, animals. So get yourself calm. Figure out a way to do it. Take a few breaths, say a prayer, connect to your body and say, hey, you, I love you. Thank you for walking my soul around all day. I'm gonna feed you now. Please direct me. Just something like that. And if you can be real with your prayer, the better. Your body loves realness. No sanctimonious shit needed, right? So being in this sweet state of mind really helps digest food. Not having distraction, and this has been and continues to be, this has been my biggest challenge. I love eating with distraction, and I'm not going to, in today's podcast, I'm not going to go into the reasons why. We all have them, right? But I love watching a movie and eating dinner. It's super, it just makes me feel like a dull girl. And I'm not a dull girl. I'm a bright, shiny girl. But man, isn't it fun sometimes to numb yourself out? Yes. But in the end, it's a false calm. It's a false dulling, actually. So I'm not saying I've been perfect about this, but for about the past 6 months, I've been really diligent about not having any computers or podcasts or media involved with my food habits. Wow. And, now I know why. Like, your brain and your belly need to communicate while you're eating. If your brain is watching Netflix, for me, it would be, I have to admit, The Great British Baking Show. Oh, I'm not giving that show up, but I'm not eating with it anymore. So if my brain is focused on Great British Baking Show and it's not focused on my belly and in the taste and in the smell and in the texture and in all the five senses engaging with my food, there's just not as much of an intelligent flow of information. By the way, modern science is totally on board with things that Ayurveda has known for thousands of years. So sit down. Don't eat standing up. In fact, there's a quote from the Charaka Samhita, I believe it is, that says, "Eat standing up and death is looking over your shoulder." Wow. Don't eat standing up. Don't eat. And, they didn't have the technology we have right now. But if I can just be so bold as to translate a modern gal's version of the Charaka Samhita, which I'd close my hands in namaste and bow before you, the Charaka would say, do not eat whilst, driving down I-95, eating a Lara bar. No offense, Lara bars, but I'm not a big fan of food on the go and dry food. Don't do that. Don't eat while, texting your girlfriend while driving, while eating. Just don't do that. It really weakens the digestive strength. Another great thing to do that is amazing. Like, I'm not kidding you guys, and I hope you can hear it. I'm smiling and laughing on my own in my recording studio, which may or may not be an old broken down sauna in my Shakti school. You guys, this is so huge. Please, if you get one thing from this podcast, get this. Stop eating at the first burp. This is a new discovery for me. I learned it from an amazing woman named Myra Lewin. She wrote a book on your relationship with food and Ayurveda. She's amazing. She has a center called Hale Pule. It's in Kauai. I'm a frequent guest. Love her. Hi, Myra. We're definitely having her on the show, by the way. She's going to talk about sex and relationships. I can't wait. She taught me this. And she said, just stop eating at the first burp and you're done. And you'll be about 75% full. And that's what your belly needs. It needs a little bit of water, a little bit of food, and a little bit of air. And that emptiness, that 75%, that 25 extra is the air. And I was like, I don't think I have a burp when I eat. And I know some of you are saying that. But there's a burp that happens. It's not like a big belching sound. It's just this tiny little air release. And you'll feel it. It's like, it's just like this little burp. And I was like, there's no way I have that. Why? I've never noticed it. I'm 37. I was like about to say 30 something. I'm 30 something years old. Never noticed that. Well, sure enough, when you're not distracted and you're calm, because if you're not calm, you might not hear the burp. So if you don't hear the burp, it's because your nervous system's too wired up. And so that means you need these practices more than anyone. So I sat there and oh my gosh, sure enough, right before I felt full, my gut released this miraculous little air bubble. And I was so euphoric. I was like, oh my God, my first burp. And it made me, I'm a Cancer moon, so, it's easy to make me cry, but it made me want to cry because my body was communicating with me. It wasn't my intellect, which I've struggled with body image, eating issues. Go read my book. We're going to talk about this a lot on this podcast. We go into this in depth at Shakti School. Just like all you listening, like how many women do you know that haven't had some kind of wacky relationship with their body, right? And all of a sudden, rather than me telling my body what I was gonna feed it or how much I was gonna give it, my body told me, hey, babe, that's all I can handle right now. Oh my gosh, you guys, it made me want to cry. So guess what I did? I put down the freaking fork because I was like, my body has spoken. She is my temple. And I get emotional even talking about it now because I'm doing that every day and for every meal. And like I said, I personally, to be in my healthy, happy place, healthy, happy, sexy place, my body lost 10 pounds just like, over the course of a few months, not crazy, just slowly. My body just dropped 10 pounds. And I was eating whatever I wanted, but, healthy stuff. Nothing changed other than me paying attention to that first burp. Then my dear friend Mary Thompson, who's an Ayurveda Charya, and what that means is Ayurvedic lady badass. She is actually our core teacher besides myself in Ayurveda school. She was one of my teachers. And Mary says that if you stop eating at the first burp, you're a yogi, meaning a wise woman. If you stop eating at the second burp, you're a bogey. In this context, it means a pleasure seeker. And if you stop eating at the third burp, then you're a rogi, which means a pain seeker, meaning you're gonna suffer if you eat to the third burp. And I don't even know how many burps I was eating to, but I'm sure it was a rogi. So that one alone, sisters listening, brothers listening, because this isn't just for the ladies, but let's be honest, I attract the women. That has been the biggest thing. The other thing, and I'm still working on this one. This is my next one that I'm going to hopefully master. And that is chewing food to, at a moderate pace and chewing it enough to get it to an even consistency. A lot of feelings came up for me around that one. You'll play around with it. Let us know. Join us on Instagram. Join us on Facebook. Join us better at Ayurveda School and tell us your experiences. Marie, my beloved sidekick, may be able to figure out how we can have comments. I think there might be a way. Let your last meal digest before you eat the next one. And that for most people is like 2 to 5 hours, maybe even 6 hours if you had a big meal. We definitely want to let the first meal get digested till we take in the next one. We do a whole like month on Ayurvedic food and digestion in our school. And you're basically not done with the last meal. If you aren't done, your body will ignore the last meal and it will ferment in your gut. Then you get things like candida, bloating, toxic formation, and it'll go and it'll digest the new meal. So it's really important to make sure you've got some space in between. Eating your biggest meal at the middle of the day, super important. And I know that's not really our culture, but if you can shift that and just have a little more at lunch, a little less at dinner, over time, you will actually not feel heavy after lunch. You'll just be energized. What else? Eating at a regular time every day, your body loves that. Your body loves rhythm. When you cook a food, when you smell what you're cooking, when the waft of an onion in ghee, or the smell of cumin seeds crackling in olive oil, or whatever you're using, while you're cooking, your body's smelling things, tasting things, touching things while you food prep. Your body's already preparing the digestive prebiotics and enzymes and everything you need to digest it before you even sit down for the meal. So not only does your body love regular routine, your body loves for you to be in the routine of cooking for yourself. Your body also loves it when you eat at regular meal times, because your body loves to have that predictable place. And so if you do that, what your body will do is it will prepare those digestive enzymes at that time of day every day, leading to great digestion. If you eat, and I know some of you out there do this, you crazy airy fairy unicorns, but you gotta stop. And I'm being bossy mama bunny. Bunnies, in case you didn't know my nickname. So let the bossy bunny just tell you, get that regular routine, because your body gets out of whack. It doesn't know when you're eating. And so it's got the digestive enzymes ready, but you didn't feed it. And now you suppress digestion. Now it moves on to another process, and then you throw food on it. So give your body a break, give it rhythm. The other thing is just being grateful for the food that you're eating, knowing that everything we eat is someone else, even if it's a plant. It's a living, according to this system, it's alive. And so just being grateful for the blueberry that's going in and giving you its consciousness. And in a way, a part of that blueberry consciousness becomes Katy Silcock's consciousness. So we're just grateful. Grateful for the hands that made it, grateful for the hands that prepared it, and grateful for the beings, even if they're seeds and plants. And if you eat meat, the meat. Grateful that that being is sacrificing itself to become you. So you know what? Use your life for a higher purpose because a plant died for you. Oh, grateful heart. And then lastly, and there are a few others, but I'll just conclude with the last one for today, and that is giving a moment to just rest after the meal, even if it's 2 minutes, especially after lunch, just letting your body have a little bit of time to rest and digest, assimilate things before moving on with your day. All right, Ayurveda homies, I'm your girl, Katy Silcox, with all things sex, spirit, and self-care. We love you guys. Come hang out with us, come see us, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Ciao.
Put a pull up on the suitcase.